Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pathfinder Plays. And today I decided to put together a bit more of a special episode for you guys. There are tons of tips and guides on YouTube about Scum, but I have yet to see one that actually combines all of these tips into one consolidated video. And of course, it's not going to be necessarily the shortest of videos because there's a lot of tips and there's probably more than what I have now, but this is my 100 tips Scum video, and there will be timestamps in the description below so that way you can skip to what exactly I'm going to be talking about. And the things I'm going to be talking about today are as follows: vehicles, supply drops, mechs, commands and keybinds, metabolism and health, and then I have some miscellaneous tips at the very end. Once again, timestamps are going to be in the description below. Let's get into it. Let's start off with vehicles first. The first one for vehicles is use a 9-volt battery or car batteries to recharge your car. Destroy car batteries to get lead plates. Tires can be flattened, so always carry a tire repair kit or make an improvised tire repair kit. When using the tire repair kit, you need to actually interact with the flattened tire and not the vehicle itself. For more storage, place chests inside your car. When getting out of your car, turn your radio and lights off because they will drain the battery. If your car starts flaming, get out of it and run because it is about to explode. If your car sustains enough damage to the engine block, it will no longer start. Repair it using the car repair kit. If you are in the passenger seat, you can fire out of the window by bringing your weapons to your hands, left-clicking to lean out of the window, and left-clicking again to begin firing as usual. If you are in the driver's seat, you can also shoot, but that is restricted to only a pistol. If you are low on gas, find one of the plethora of gas stations around the map. You can also find gas cans around the map and fill them up as well. Note that a single gas can will only fill about half of your tank. If you have a truck, players can also sit in the bed. Your car battery recharges while driving. If your car is dead and you can't recharge the battery, you can have somebody give you a push start. Turn lights on by pressing X. If your vehicle gets stuck, go up to it, press F, and select the push button. And lastly, for the vehicle tips, put a lock on it so it doesn't get stolen. Moving on now to the supply drops tips. Supply drops can sometimes be filled with puppets, so be on your guard. Don't just rush to one, but be careful of people watching it from the tree lines. The amount of time that a supply drop lasts has been mentioned different times, between 20 to 30 minutes, but either way, they blow up, so be careful when you approach one. The higher the smoke is, the closer it is to detonation. The smoke will also turn blackish when it's ready to blow. And lastly, if you want to get out of there as fast as possible and you have a vehicle, go ahead and back that vehicle up to the supply drop itself so you can just drag and drop the loot into your car and drive away immediately without needing to run from point A to point B. Moving on to the bunker tips. Number 1, bring flares. They can distract mechs and puppets alike. Along with the main bunker doors, the bunkers also have secondary hatches that you can find. Some bunkers are more difficult than others, but have more armories, which is where the good loot is at. When trying to get into a bunker, hide in bushes. The mechs can't see you in them. And the last one for that is close all the doors behind you. If players come in, you'll hear them, and if puppets start to respawn, you'll at least stop them from getting to you and let you control the situation. Moving on to the mech tips. The white light means no detection. The yellow light means that the mech is alerted and will investigate. The red light, it will actively try and attack you. If the mech sees you and tells you to put your hands up, do it, and it won't shoot you. Just be sure to run away quickly out of the compound. Just a quick note, that will only happen in the yellow light mode. If it's already red, do not try to do that. Mechs right now do not drop anything valuable, but may drop C4 in the future. And lastly, for mechs, just because they can't see you does not mean that they may not accidentally step on you if you're in a bush, so choose your bushes wisely. Moving on to the commands and keybinds. This may arguably be the most valuable part of the video. Let's get into it. The minus key on your keyboard removes the HUD. When aiming through a sniper scope and staying focused on a distant object, tap the left control button to calculate the range. To zero your scope, hold left shift and scroll the mouse wheel. To change the windage setting, hold left shift, left alt, and scroll the mouse wheel. Change between the 3 movement speeds by using the mouse wheel. To bash an enemy with your firearm, simply click the mouse wheel. To change crouch stance height, hold left control and scroll the mouse wheel. To auto walk, hold shift and press W. You can still change movement speed while doing this. To cancel bow shots or throws, tap the right mouse button. If you have a sniper scope, you can hold left alt and click left and right button to zoom in and zoom out. When your weapon gets a jam, press R to go into the weapon jam resolution mode and then select the image that best matches your gun. Holding shift and pressing R checks the ammo in your magazine. Holding shift and pressing left mouse button changes the firing mode. If you have a scope mounted weapon but want to utilize the iron sights, while aiming down sight, just press Ctrl and right mouse button to rotate between the two. If you want to change the brightness of the indicators in the scope, press Alt and scroll the mouse wheel. To do a long throw, press G. If you want to do a short throw, hold shift and press G. And lastly, turn on your firearm flashlight by holding shift and pressing E. Moving on to the metabolism and health section of the video. To cure hyperthermia, which you can check by going to your sickness bar in the metabolism tab and also checking if your temperature is above 36 degrees Celsius, and take all your clothes off and jump in the nearest water source. Drink water and urinate to lower sodium levels. Drink water from wells and pumps in towns. Eat food from crops, larvae from logs, and mushrooms in the forest. You can eat worms by searching the ground for them by bodies of water. You can also find food in bushes and eat aloe vera. Don't let your stomach capacity go much higher than 100% or you may vomit. If you drink too much alcohol, you can get drunk. If you drink way too much alcohol, you can die. If you take too many pills, you can overdose. If you do take too many pills, you can make yourself vomit by using the action wheel and selecting the vomit option. Check your calorie balance and your water balance by looking at the metabolism menu. If you need to lose weight, don't eat and go into a negative calories. Otherwise, keep even or keep the slight surplus because you'll burn it off while you're running around. You can also check your character weight in the metabolism tab. Don't drink too much water at one time, you'll get diarrhea. You can use rag strips to patch minor bleeds. Hold control over a food item to see its nutrition facts. If your intestine meter reaches over 75%, you'll give yourself diarrhea. And finally, food fills up the intestines slowly and water fills the intestines up quicker, so be cautious with that. Moving on to the last portion of it, and thank you guys for sticking with me to this point, the extra tips, the miscellaneous ones. Find buried boxes by bringing up the blueprint of the building block and waiting for it to turn red. This also works for finding mines. The green spots on the map are safe zones. You cannot be killed or kill in these zones. There are MMA octagons, however, and you can damage other players there. You can't damage vehicles in safe zones either, but vehicles can be lockpicked and stolen. Rotate items by holding down the left click button, holding control, and spinning the mouse wheel. Women are tactical urinators because they crouch down to pee and they don't stand like men. If you shoot a gun without earbuds, you will hear ringing for a time. Down south, you will find aloe vera plants. You can not only eat them, but use them as bandages. You weigh more when your clothes are wet, which means your stamina suffers. So dry your clothes off. Dry your clothes off by standing near a heat source, like a fire. When using the cooking grill, add small sticks to the fire one at a time to avoid making it too hot. If it gets too hot, it'll ruin your meat. If you want to regenerate health or stamina fast, use the action wheel and select lay down. Adjust the compound bow by using a toolbox. To get on buildings' roofs, just open the door outwards, climb on it, then climb on the roof. When just starting out, replace your orange jumpsuit as soon as possible. It is very noticeable. You could even turn it into a backpack. You can distract mechs and puppets by throwing items like rocks or flares. The shipwrecks off the coasts have military loot. If you are new and want to complete the tutorial, press tab and go to the 4th menu and start doing them. Create a squad by pressing tab, go into the squad menu and click create squad. When you create a squad, a name logo will be given to you, but you can edit those by clicking the edit button. Invite somebody to your squad by holding F on the person and click the option to invite to squad. To respawn at your base, remember to build a bed. To repair your base elements all at once, place a flag and with a toolbox in hand, press F on the flag and select the repair base element option. C2 is the biggest bunker. To get firearms without going to bunkers, check the residential areas, but mainly the police stations. World War II bunkers spawn the most damaged or worst quality military loot. This means more jams, so use them wisely. If items on your crafting list are grayed out, you can't craft it. If items on your crafting list are red, you have none of the required items, but you can craft it. If items on your crafting list are yellow, you have some of the required items to craft it. If items are fully colored, you can craft them. If you want to craft improvised items that require animal skin, you might be able to utilize human skin from puppets and players. And lastly, guys, increase fame points by increasing your player stats and killing other players. I know this was a slightly longer video, it wasn't that bad, but I really hope that out of all these 100 tips, you guys find some value, and I hope that this makes you a better Scum player. Share this video with your friends if you have some that play Scum, and a reminder that I have a Scum server as well called PATH.HOUSE Condemned. That will be in the description below. Thank you to my channel members, and if you guys like scares, survival, and scavenging, consider hitting that subscribe button, that bell button, and I will see you all in the next one. Path out.